Hi, welcome back to Ian's Field of Mess of Greens 2021. I just brought you back because I'm trying to set this camera up. Let me see if I can sort this out. Now, I'm trying to do this because I've managed to get my worms. They came. I've got worms. There we are. They come in a bag and they came from, got it here. They came from, is that upside down? That is upside down maybe. Anyway, I bought them online from yorkshireworms.co.uk. I'm not advertising them, well I am obviously because they are. But I'm going to stick this sticker onto the side of my bathtub that my new worm bin is made out of. So thank you to them, to Yorkshire Worms. I haven't put what what have I done? I haven't put on wherever I bought them how much I like them, but I'm doing it on here, so hopefully Yorkshire Worms will hear me and say, oh, that's nice of you to mention it's on there. Anyway, so there we go. I've stuck their sticker on there, and I've brought in some more veggie scraps. It's the top of a cabbage, and there's a couple of squash that are just absolutely minging. There's quite a bit of cabbage in here, as you can see, and I've just brought that in, and there's a couple of kohlrabi. They're my favourite vegetable. I didn't know anything about them before. I'm just going to break this cabbage up a bit because it's quite big. I didn't know anything about kohlrabi really, but I've got a friend who's married to a Slovakian lady, and she said, oh, do you do kohlrabi? I said, I don't know what they are. She said, have a look. Anyway, so I did. And they use them a lot, and they make soups and stews, and they use them in everything. Anyway, I got some seeds. I didn't realise there was so many different varieties of them. But there's like 4 colours. Big white ones and red ones and red and white ones, obviously. And I'm just picking out the slugs because I don't really want slugs in my polytunnel. It's not a good idea to encourage more. I just want the worms to do their job, which I'm sure they will. So yeah, I'm going to go and chuck this bucket of slugs back outside afterwards. There's a little centipede in there. I don't know whether. Oh gosh! Oh, I flicked him. Oh, there's a slug. The centipede's just fallen in, and he can stay because I'm not really worried. He's just going to break down the green matter, which is great. Here's a kohlrabi. It's rock hard. I'm just taking the roots off because I don't want the root to grow either. So I'll probably get a knife. Hang on a minute. See if I've got a knife. I've got a big bit. It's still drizzling with rain, and it's back to floods. Really freezing weather before for a couple of days, and now it's gone back to it's warmed up, but it's just absolutely soaking. Everything's flooded again, so that's what my choice is. I've only got a pair of scissors, so I'm just gonna cut into this kohlrabi with a pair of scissors. That's the inside of it. Like I say, stew, soups, all that sort of thing made out of kohlrabi is amazing. I love them. Like I say, it's one of my favourites now. I put them, I bake them in the oven, slice it up real thin, put it in the oven, do your bake bacon in the oven, and put kohlrabi over the top of it, and halfway through, turn it over and do the other side. And oh my goodness. I mean, bacon's brilliant anyway, isn't it? So mix that with kohlrabi, and oh my goodness. It's a meal of kings. I'm just making that up really, but there's a snail there. Get that out. Yeah, so I should have done this before really, but never mind. So we've got lots of cabbage, lots of bits of brassica, there's some squash, there's some rotten down stuff, there's a whole, it looks like a whole red cabbage, but these are they're rubbish. They just got eaten by everything, so I didn't really want to eat them myself because they're proper minging. No, I think that's a bit of a waste, but I ate quite a few of my red cabbages and they were absolutely delicious. Actually, this one's got quite a nice little centre to it, but just been left out there for so long. There we go. Anyway, let's chop down. Look how pretty that is. Look at that. Anyway, look, he's in now. So yeah, there's more food scraps, more vegetable waste. I'm just pointing it down, showing you there. And then we got some of the wood chip from the other day, not wood chip, newspaper from the other day. There's some peelings, there's a load of grapes in the bottom of that. There's all those strawberry leaves from the other day as well. Just sort of tucking all that in. Get that, that's all the food bit down this end. So I'm going to put the, oh no I'm not, I'm going to just bring the edge up here. So there we go, that's the wood chip edge up over the top there. I'm just going to, I keep forgetting, I'll go and get, oh no, I'll get this bit there. I'm going to do a load of newspaper over the top. And as I showed you all the other day, when you're tearing newspaper, do it long ways and you get nice long strips. If you do it the other way, it just doesn't do long strips if you do it the other way. So I'm not really going to add any more water because everything's quite wet in here, so the worms will enjoy that. Oh, that's a big long strip. So, and this is to kind of keep it a bit darker. It'll absorb all the moisture that's in there. There's so much moisture in this wood chip and everything. I mean, it's soaking wet. The whole polytunnel's flooded at the minute. I'm actually standing sort of, not on tiptoe, but I'm standing on the slightly higher bits of ground within the polytunnel because it is so flooded in here. It rained last night. It's been raining, well, most of this afternoon. I worked until past 12, something like that, 1 o'clock. And then the heavens opened and it's just carried on ever since. So I do what I can, and now I'm back up here and I'm doing this video for you guys, and then I'll be doing pottering around and trying to remedy some of the flooding that's going on. Right, so there we are. There's my newspaper in. There's my wood chip up to the edge. I'm going to put this bit of newspaper that I've got over the vegetable food end just here and tuck it in all the way around, and that'll just kind of keep it hidden and keep it protected a bit. Protected, you know what I mean, anyway. And put that in there like that. I'm just going to open the worm bag up. I don't need scissors for it, got one of them, like a Ziploc thing on. Very good, excellent. Anyway, here's my excellent worms. I'm just going to tip them on the top here so that we can see. I'll have to bring you over a bit closer. Oh, look, you're over there, look. Let's just see if I can turn you around. I'm sorry about my terrible camera skills. I've still not quite got the grasp of any of this sort of stuff yet, but I've not done the editing as well either yet. Yeah, enormous bundle of worms. And here they are. Oh God, I'm trying to work watch out where I'm stepping. So there's the bundle of worms, and we're just going to sort of spread them out a bit across here. Well, they look a bit squished, really. I think they came in, it looks like cocoa fibre that they get off the coconuts. Anyway, so there's all the worms. I wonder if I can bring you around here, whether you can see any better. Okay. Yeah, so these are worms here. I've got worms. And they're just going to do their job of breaking down all this. Should have perhaps, oh, they're going in already. I'm just going to put them there. I want it to fall over, but I just want you to be able to see them finding their way into their new home. Can you see that? I don't even know if you can see. Yeah, you can see that. So I'm just going to leave you there for a minute. I'm just going to go and get a bit more newspaper just to cover them over, because as you know, worms like the darkness. They will burrow into all this wood chip. This is the bedding part, and the food's down the other end, and then they'll work their way along to the food. I won't put them straight in there because they'll find their own way. I'm just going to grab the newspaper. And I'll be happy. Right, so Brought some more newspaper back. The newspaper's to keep the ground. Oh, excuse me, I'm burping. It's to keep the ground, the wood chip nice and moist, and to keep it dark for the worms, so that they don't get freaked out and they can come up and they can eat all this vegetable matter. I'm going to put this in, so I'm going to bring you up and out the way a little bit. Let's see if we can put you over here for the minute. Stay up. Oh, there we go. So yeah, I haven't named them. If anyone wants to write in and suggest names for them, I'm just being silly. I think he'd name worms. Anyway, there we are. So the newspaper goes in over the top. As I say, just keeps it moist, keeps it in a bit of darkness for them, and keeps the worms happy. Hopefully, anyway. So I'm just going to put that in like that and cover them up. This is part 3 of Ian makes a worm bite bin after out. Blah. Got to spit words out. Ian makes a worm bin out of the bathtub. Lots of people have done it online. It's a very good idea. I got my idea from Rob Bob's Backyard Aquaponics, and as I say, I did one last year. I've had boxes that are done up as worm bins as well in the past, and it's just such a good resource that those bits of those vegetable scraps and vegetable peelings and everything else would go to waste otherwise. It'd either go to the council who take it away, or it would go to waste. So I put it in here and utilised it, and the worms will do their job and they'll gobble it all up and turn it into amazing worm castings. So I'll leave that for probably I don't know, it'll last a month, but we'll see how it goes, and I'll bring you along to have a look at it each week or each time we get a chance to do it, and we'll just have a quick look at it, and then we'll get on and look at other stuff as well. At home I got some things came through the post, so I got a load of seeds as well, and I've planted a load of seeds at home. So I've done mixed Thai chilies, but they're spicy Thai chilies. I think they're dragon chilies, and they're either 50,000 to 100,000 Scoville's. I'm not a massive fan of really super hot, but there we go. I like hot, don't get me wrong. Actually, I do like super hot. I just don't like it so you have to put a toilet roll in the fridge for the next day if you have a super hot curry. But anyway, I like them. The Thai peppers I quite like, because not only are they extremely hot, they've also got lots of flavour to them, which is the bit that I like. So yeah, I've also got some. What else did I get? I got some little watermelons, and I planted them early. They're all at home to get them to germinate, along with a cantaloupe type of melon. I've got some celery in as well. I just want to show you what's going on in the polytunnel. I look a right mess, but if you went out, well, we'll take you outside in a minute and show you. It's a bit muddy and wet, so I'm going to show you what the ground looks like. Can we see this? The floor in here, it's moving. I've got a flood coming through, and it's coming through from over there, but it's all the way along, and it's just flooding the polytunnel. I dug a gully at the back of the polytunnel the first year. I'm just showing you all the flood. This is the inside of my shed. I've got a stand. I can straddle it, and then I'll bring you out to the absolute mess. I've just brought this flat pot out. I'm just showing you. I've got like a little river, like a little waterfall that's dug its own channel through here. And this is all coming off the back field. I know it looks like a mess out here, but I've got to have a bonfire and tidy it all up. But the water's just running out through here, and it goes out into the road. I'll just shove that down a minute. So yeah, it's actually stopped raining for a minute. I'll go out on my long arm selfie stick. It's flooded. Everywhere's flooded. It's one of them days again out here. My pond's kind of filled back up again, but the line has lifted because of the fact that there's so much water underneath. There's probably a pond down the bottom again, and I'd love to take you down, but it's so muddy. I'm not going. I can't be bothered. So we'll go and have a look at it another time. It'll still be flooded tomorrow. Out the front's flooded, everything's flooded. So yeah, but it's not cold, which I actually really like. I'm not a massive fan of the cold, and when we had the cold weather just recently, it was Baltic. Didn't like it at all. Much prefer to be flooded out, I guess. And I just wanted to come along and see part 3 of my worm bin, putting the actual worms in. Yeah, so there we go. I've now got a worm bin up again and running. There is a tub underneath. I moved the blocks out the way. Let me just show you. There's a tub just there which will catch any drips. It leans back that way, and once the worms start moving about and they start breaking it down, the compost, the wood chip in there is quite moist, so they'll start moving about and they'll start making their own worm juice, which will run out into the tub at the bottom. I'm just showing you down here because this is also, everything is so flooded. I know it looks a right bloody mess, and it is a right bloody mess, but it's because it's just flooding. This is my pond. This is my hole that my pond sat in. You can hear the water running down there, and it's just running out of the polytunnel straight into the hole. The other one on that side, look, the water level is just literally just there at the top. So it's just a hole full of water with a tub full of water sat in the hole full of water. My gutter's stopped running. I expect it's just full of leaves at the top there. But there we go, it's still dripping a bit. Right mess, everything. But yeah, it's when you live in England, you kind of get used to it, I guess, don't you? And I'm not young anymore, so I know what happens when it rains. And it's that's what happens when it rains, it bloody floods. So yeah, hope everyone's well. Hope you're liking my worm bin mess that I'm making. Yeah, hope you like and subscribe. Look through all my videos. You can look back and see when I dug the actual ponds out and how I built the floating raft beds and doing the whole thing all the way through. So please like and subscribe and ring the bell icon. Don't know where it is, it's over there or over here. I'm just pointing, really. Anyway, hope everyone's good. Have a good and nice one. Cheers, bye.